Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to start with this weekly chart, 138.10, 138.05, upper right is the daily chart version of the same exact descending channel top, and 107.23, by the way, 106.75 is the daily chart version of this rising channel bottom. And this 107.23 formation remains in reach as we had a big sell-off last week off of this testing of this resistance the previous week. We could see this over the next week or two with heightened volatility certainly could play out. Now, if we were to close the week Friday above 138.10, then I'm anticipating longer-term bullish continuation, possibly into the lower 180s as we continue into later year, but there will be other upside tests on the way up. I can point to the daily chart, mentioned 138.10 is actually 138.05 on the daily chart. Our initial 3 to 5 week target would be 164.77, but this is all a bit of a moot point, holding below the upper 130s, still anticipating 106.75 daily chart channel support. Excuse me. Now we've amended support on the daily chart. It actually was tested last Friday. 116.66 is the low settlement price following January all-time high. 116.66 is also our downward pivot point through the rest of the week. But for the day, 116.66 support. You've got 124.63 as a 5/8 Fibonacci that's had a lot of play the last week or so. It is just a soft intraday pivot point. If we open at or above it, if we open, I'm going to say unchanged, 124.92 was the Friday settlement price. Above 124.63, 129.65 is likely today. 129.65 is this newly formed descending 1 week channel top that can contain today's highs. It may actually contain buying into later week. We could fall away from here back to 116.66 within 1 to 3 days. With that kind of volatility that we're in right now, this is more of a 1 to 3 day likelihood. Now, if we close today above 129.65, that does indicate a test tomorrow of the significant 138.05 descending channel top. And it really looks something like this. Closing above 129.65, 138.05 likely tomorrow with that kind of volatility tomorrow. Until then, for the next few days, we could trade inside this 116.66 to 129.65 area. And keep in mind that overall, holding below 138.05 will keep channel support at 106.75 in reach, I'm going to say over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And if we fall back today and close below 116.66 over the next 2 to 3 days. So yes, if we close today below 116.66, I'm expecting a test today of our targeted 106.75 formation where we could actually bottom out through March, even through the second quarter. And from here, round back up to the 138.05 formation within 2 to 3 weeks or so. And yes, even onward and upward into the mid 160s. 106.75 is a bottom picking zone for not only day traders, 3 to 5 day swing traders, and 3 to 5 week swing traders, but yes, position players who want to hold it for a longer period of time. It's actually 107.23 on the weekly chart. And, holding, or once we test 107.23, we can round up into the 180s as we move into later year. I mean, this trend line itself, which would be a new channel top, will be in the lower 180s as we move into later summer. But we also have a whole nother set of resistance at 183.40 that is based on a much longer term low. So really what I'm saying here is closing above 138.10. I would expect the mid 160s, as I said earlier, within a matter of 3 to 5 weeks. And then longer term, we can push on into the 180s and climbing as we continue into later year if we can close above 138.10 this week, which I'm not expecting, but you never know what may play out in the market, especially with this kind of volatility. But for right now, this is the big picture right now. If you're looking through the month of March, you're selling or you're short from the upper 130s, taking profits, expecting 106.75. At 106.75, you can certainly reverse and go long. 2 to 3 week swing traders back into the upper 130s, and longer term position holders into the mid 160s and even higher as we continue into later year. I'm going to take you back again to the daily chart. And just remind you, we got 129.65. That is sellable resistance for day traders and even 1 to 3 day swing traders who can anticipate 116.66 over that time frame. 124.63, is an intraday pivot point. We've tested it obviously on Friday. It held nicely earlier last week. We closed below it on Thursday. We're right back at it on Friday. And so we'll kind of see where it plays. But if you're just looking for 2 areas to trade, day traders, you could sell 129.65 and buy 116.66. Closing above 129.65, expect 138.05 probably tomorrow. And if we close below 116.66, our long-awaited 106.75 within 1 to 3 days, where all profits should be taken under all time frames. Last thing I'm going to say is if we were to close below 106.75 in the coming days, then we set up for 76.33 as our next. This could be within 3 to 5 weeks. It could take a little longer, but 76.33 would be the next big picture objective. We could actually place an annual low here potentially. And yes, NVIDIA does look pretty ugly, pretty weak in a bear market if it were to close below 76.33, but I'm not expecting that. I do think there's a very good chance 107.23 will hold as we move through the second quarter, and then following a testing of that, if we can then, of course, close above the upper 130s, 138.05, onward and upward as we continue through Q2. I think that pretty much rounds it out. I don't think there's anything that's left uncovered, so I am going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. We've got recent stock picks you can see and use, and Palantir, Eli Lilly, Alibaba, Fudu Holdings, etc., all in the last couple of weeks. We've got 2 more coming out this week: daily Triple Q, daily SPY, weekly Apple stock analysis. You can see it all by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial up front. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Tuesday's NVIDIA. You have a great day.